So what's going on, guys? I'm here with half of the co-main event for Coastal Combat 6, the undefeated professional 2-0 now, Sam Flynn. Sam, what's going on?
Not much, just here on a Sunday doing an interview with you.
Yeah, of course, we're down at the beautiful integrated MMA. My first time actually being inside the gym here, and it's a pretty impressive facility that Adrian Pang's got running here.
Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful gym. Just before this interview, I said to you before that this is the first time I've actually been in here on my own for a long period of time, and it's got that sort of that vibe about it. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, a lot of history in here. It's pretty cool. For those of you that haven't had the pleasure of being inside the gym here, there's like a bunch of old fight posters on the walls, a couple of the big UFC posters. It's Adrian Pang's done a really good job here and churning out some of the best fighters in the country. No exception, you being no exception to that there, Sam. So, of course, congratulations on your success in your first two pro bouts.
Thank you very much.
2-0 as a professional with two finishes.
Yep,
not discriminating with the methods of victory there either. One submission, one TKO.
Yeah, don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, talk us through your transition from fighting amateur into professional.
Well, when it came from amateur, I kind of just went with the flow until I got some title shots. Then when I eventually won an amateur Australian title, it just seemed natural to go up to the professional leagues and try it out there. So quite easy, to be honest.
So I know you moved around a lot as a kid.
Yes.
And I was reading through some of your commentary questions prior to this interview, and read that you're actually born in Germany on a British Army base.
Yes, well, definitely. I'm coming from a army family, so I'm an army brat. So I've been to about 10 different schools, 15 different houses, moving around sort of every 18 months, stuff like that. So yeah, was born in Germany, spent about 5 years there, over to England, then over to Australia. I spent some time in Cyprus as well. So yeah,
Pretty cool.
get around.
Yeah. How long have you been in Australia for?
Since 2006.
Okay.
So this is like the longest country I've been in now, but I spent about 10 years in Sydney, 2 sets of 5 years, that makes sense. I've been in Brisbane for 2 years now on 2 separate occasions.
Interesting. And prior to MMA, I also hear that you were quite the competitive swimmer when you were younger. Talk to us a little about that.
Yeah, well, from the age of about 6 years old, the only thing that was real consistent in my life was sport. When I was a bit younger, cross country, I was a national level sort of cross country runner, which developed into swimming. Then from swimming, I just seemed to have a knack for it, and since the age of 6, like I said, I've been training between 7, 13, 14, 15 times a week. And yeah, that's the blueprint of my life.
Awesome. So swimming to MMA is a pretty rare transition.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen it, and I do believe that swimming is the hardest sport, definitely mentally. Waking up at 4:30 in the mornings to get into a cold pool with my little cozies, not something you really want to do, but I think it's really transitioned well to MMA because it's taught me like real lessons how to achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah, well, you can certainly see one thing that always stands out with you is how good a shape you come into your fights. So
Yes.
It's clear that you've developed quite a good work ethic from swimming, and like you mentioned, those early cold mornings
gotta
built
do
a lot of
what you gotta
resilience. Yes. So I have a really interesting story here. After your last fight, I believe it was, on XFC, just got the win, a second round rear naked choke, I believe it was, against over a very experienced opponent.
Strong guy.
And unfortunately, just the way that the night was running, there was not enough time for me to interview you in the cage after.
It was a late night.
Yeah, it's just sometimes the shows run like that. I mean, a lot of decisions, these things are out of the promoter's hands, so we just got to make adjustments on the fly.
Yep.
Then you cornered me though after the show had ended. It was about 1 o'clock. I was ready to go home.
Oh, I was ready to go home too.
Bumped into Sam here, and he asked, why didn't I get an interview? Explained it to him, oh, good. And then he said to me that I had a call out. I said, well, who are you going to call out? And Sam told me he was going to call out David Martinez. And we had a quick little chat about it, and it was very interesting because Sam basically just in more words than this, basically just said to me, I can beat him. I know how to beat him. And the way that you said it to me, I was convinced. I could tell that you know, or at least you think you know, that you have the tools to beat Martinez.
I definitely know I have the potential. Like, at the end of the day, nothing's set in stone. Like, this is a crazy sport. Anything can happen. But I've always seen his name in the amateur ranks, like at the top, the smiling assassin. Always seen that. Then last year at XFC, can't remember which one it was in November, I saw him fight, and I was like, this guy is really nothing special. And I was an amateur fighter at the time. Then after my first pro fight, I went to my coach and said, "Oh, like, is he available for a fight?" My coach was like, "Oh, let's take our time. He's he's a big name in the sport sort of thing at the moment. So I listened to my coach. After the second fight, I know I keep seeing his name, I keep seeing his face, and I'm just like, oh, he's at the pinnacle of Australian MMA now, and he's the stepping stone to that sort of next step. And this is a sport where you want to keep growing, keep evolving, and having a name like that on my win record, that's going to really elevate me to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. And after our conversation, I actually gave the Coastal Combat promoter, Joel Zepasvari, a phone call on the way home. Because I knew that he'd rifled through, he was literally looking through the Tapology rankings, the lightweight professionals, and just trying every name, and no one wanted to fight Dave.
Crazy.
So I called him on my way home and said, you know what? I think I might have an opponent in mind for David Martinez. And Joel did what he does and went to both teams. Both teams were excited about the fight, accepted the fight, and here we are. And like you mentioned, it's a really interesting situation because a win here, you basically steal all the hype that's on Dave. All of a sudden, you're going to be the undefeated 3-0 professional Australian champion at lightweight,
and 3 fights.
Arguably the hottest prospect in the country.
Yeah, well, that's the sport. Like if you're good at what you do and you do all the right things, all those little 1%ers, when opportunity comes its way, you're ready to snatch it up. And yeah, I'm 27. I don't want to slow down. I want to keep evolving. Every fight to me is like a promotion, so I want to keep on the rise. And when I get to that national level where I'm 3-0 Australian champion, what's next? Like it's really fast forwarded me a couple of years, and it's really helped me not fight those extra sort of fights where I'm not in those sort of bigger promotion lights. So see, that's what I want.
It's like I said, it's a really interesting situation like that because, like you said, you can basically shave 2 years off your professional career. That's it. You get this win, and you kind of leapfrog a lot of people and a few fights that you might have potentially had to have in a different scenario.
Yeah, 100%.
So, of course, training out of Integrated MMA, we are in the gym, like we mentioned earlier, one of the most prestigious gyms in the country. Arguably churning out probably more high-level talent than any gym in Australia. I think that's fair to say. Talk to me about training in this room with just an absolute room full of killers and what it's like to train under Adrian Payne.
It's brilliant. It's what you make of it. So this is such a good place for like opportunity. If you want to come in here and make a name for yourself, you're definitely in the right sort of environment. You can go with the right sort of people, and they're going to help you progress in the right sort of ways. And I've never really experienced a proper sort of structured foundational sort of training. So when I got in here, it was just no question for me that this is the place that I need to be. It's just when I first came, I remember I've actually got photos on my phone where I'm taking selfies and thinking to myself, they're all savages. There's no easy rounds. And it's brilliant. It really molds you into like what you really want to be.
Who gives you the hardest rounds? There's a lot of very talented fighters, but I think as people that I do a bit of training myself, and in the gym, sometimes you turn around and you look at someone and you go, okay, I matched up with him again. So let's see how this goes.
Well, everyone's got their own little golden nuggets. Like you got your strong wrestlers, you got your strong strikers, you got those people who are very physically strong, those people who are like tricky.
Yeah.
So like, there's no one who's like you go with them who's like, all right, well, this is a different chess match, this is a different puzzle. Adapt and do what you got to do.
That's a good answer. I like that you didn't give any names there. So you off camera earlier, we were having a chat about your amateur career, and you told me something that was what I think is quite hilarious. Okay. Talk to me about how you used to warm up as an amateur, and more importantly, who was your main training partner when you were warming up?
Oh, Jesus. Well, in my sort of amateur career, I didn't really have one sole gym, and every time I took fights, they were all like last-minute fights where I was going up weight classes. Half my fights were welterweight when I'm walking around 75. I just said yes to it. But I had my friends, my corners, like just who had no idea what they were saying, like, sink it in. They're just like, yeah, thanks, mate. Then in warming up, I had my girlfriend like just dancing around with me, getting me like on my toes. So you just got to deal with the cards you got given, and things have worked out pretty well. So
I think that's fair to say. Very impressive amateur career, and like we mentioned, now undefeated as a professional. So things certainly trending in the right direction for you, Sam. And finally, September 7th, Coastal Combat 6 co-main event, lightweight title on the line. How are you going to get your hand raised?
As long as I get a finish, I'm going to be happy. And I can't really see it going the distance. I'm way too athletic for it to get grinded out. The first 30 seconds will be where I'm at my most sort of vulnerable, but if you can't pin me down early, it's going to be a very quick or painful night for him. So,
well, I think I speak for the rest of the Australian MMA community when I say I absolutely cannot wait for this fight.
me too.
Co-main event September 7 at Coastal Combat. If you haven't already, guys, get your tickets. If you can't make it to the venue, buy the pay-per-view. It's going to be an awesome night. So thanks, Sam. Good to chat to you, mate.
Thank you very much. Cool.